also wanted to show you how you can start entering a document. This is when I was stuck before, and you just give it a title, and if you start then typing for the publisher of the document, you can already see this is this auto completion feature, and it's really very powerful because you now can just choose one of the things. It avoids typo errors, and of course it's very fast. And you can also have drop-down boxes to ensure that this is done fast. So of course there is some things to do, but it's not too complicated. Okay, what I wanted to go in now is to how do we start? What do we need for setting up a Semantic MediaWiki? What have we learned today already? We have seen categories, we have seen properties. What else? Templates. What else? Forums. Yeah. And you don't have to do everything, at least for the beginning, you don't have to do everything separately. You don't have to create the attribute, the property, and then the category, the template, the form. There is a feature built in, and that means you can go on the special page of the wiki, and you can say, okay, let's create, where is it? Page tools, create. I'm somewhat puzzled in the moment.
What are you trying to find?
Create class. Pardon?
The bottom.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, there is it. Yeah, you can here create the category. You can create everything solely, but you can also create a class, and that's the most convenient piece of work to start with. If this is too basic now, please oppose it. With creating a class, you can in one step create all these things in one flow, and it now shows you. You can say, okay, what template do we want to do? We can just probably for now say, okay, we want to set up a system that allows us to manage the attendance of SMWCon conference, for example. So we will need a template and a form for the attendants to fill in their names and whether they want to have a 3-day ticket or a simple single-day ticket and so on. So attendance would be a good name for this. And we will have a forum that is also covering this. And my hand is there from very painful experience. Always use, if you have things that describe the same thing, always use the same name for the template, for the forum, and for the category, because otherwise you can get somewhat tricky in the end if you are doing queries and you do not know exactly how it's spelled or so. It's very difficult. So it makes sense to think about it before creating such things, to think about how is the naming convention. Do I want to have the names in a certain format, or do I want to have the names all uppercase or lowercase, or a certain, is the first one an uppercase or something like this, and make it always the same. It's very handy, because otherwise it can be tricky if you're trying to write down just the queries. Okay, so we will need some field values, probably the name. Then we also need, of course, a property with the same name. the type will in this case probably not be a page, because the page name of the attendance would consist of the given name and the name. So we can use here the text, and of course all values are allowed. The same for the given name. And now let's say the ticket type. Here we can have a page as the outcome, because probably we want to describe later on the ticket type on a separate page. And then it makes also sense to only limit this to a certain number of values, because you don't want the users to create additional ticket types. So you probably have a single day ticket, you have a conference ticket, and you have a conference and tutorial ticket. Do we need something else? I don't think for a moment. So we just push create, and that's it. Oh. Okay. Whatever happens now. Yeah. What was your?
Das wollte ich sagen, genau. Ticket type site, there is not.
Why? We wanted to have a
No, you are with your mouse there already. I mean, the ticket type, yeah.
yeah.
It's site there. No. You leave
Yeah,
this
yeah. I wanted to have it as a page, because I want to describe the ticket type later on this page.
Okay.
So it probably makes sense.
Okay.
But yeah, let's see what happens now. Okay. Someone with a proper installation? Bernard, has you access to? Because there's something with the extensions.
Yes.
This is a very processor.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the, I think the semantic task is going on. But probably we can access. Achso, wir können auch mit dem. Nee, aber die Frage war nur, haben wir das eine saubere Installation? Yeah, sorry for that, but it was a little bit improvised, and it seems that the stack is not running properly, because it's the newest version, and I did not test all the. Okay. So we do it same again, and. So what you now have to have is some patience, because this usually takes a few minutes, because it does not immediately bring forward all the things. So you have to look after also on the special pages. You can list the the forms, for example, and you can see, yeah, it's still not there, so it takes some time until it's set up. But it's the most convenient time. If you're in a hurry, then it's quicker to set it up manually. If you're not, then it's good to use the class, because you are sure that everything is done similarly. And of course, as the outcome is produced only in text, you can adapt it afterwards. There's no problem. And it's very handy if you want to start, for example, with the forms and with the templates. Then it's a good start to use the class before, and then you can see what it does, and then you can do the same in your own templates. Yeah, it still takes time. But anyway, what is really important is to think beforehand which kind of queries you need in the end, because it's also important to have the data structure set up. Of course, my first wiki was not that way. I started to go on from the scratch, and it's quite funny because the starting point was for me in, I think, 2007. I had a boss at that time who always filed his things in a chronological order, and it was very good for him. But I came 5 years later to the project, and I didn't find anything. So I said, "Can we please resort this on topics?" And he said, "Oh no, you don't touch the files. You're not allowed to change anything about the file order." And so it was very difficult. And this was when I came up with Semantic MediaWiki, because it allows you, for each of your users, to have the same kind of documents sorted and to be reproduced according to his own needs. And this is very, very handy, very useful. Now you see that there is a form attendance that has been generated. And now we can set up the first attendant. One thing that I would usually do now is I type on now the attendant name, so it would be and now you see already there's everything inside there, and there is also the drop-down list for the tickets. Of course, this is a kind of redundant, because I now have my name as the page name for this attendant, and what you would usually do for such a page is to create the page name from the properties, and to say, okay, the page name consists of the given name and the name, and then you create the page not by typing in the name of the page, but by just clicking a button, create new attendant. But this we will probably do later on. No, I will just install one. Now see, we have already created the first content of the wiki, and of course we can now have a description of the tickets below, and we can now also query already the list of the attendants. And you can now also have a look at the at the forum. There is now also the form for attendant. And if you now look at it, then you can say that all this kind of magic in the beginning is already done there. And the good thing is you can, for the beginning, you just do copy and paste to change the format and to change the forms and the templates. The point is that if you do this afterwards, you have to be a bit careful to, if you're changing the form or the template, to change the other one of both accordingly, because this can very easily go wrong if the form and the template are not corresponding. There is also the scheme, semantic scheme is called, I think, extension that can write an XML file of the schemas. It's page schemas. That can write an XML file of these things and allows you to change forms and templates afterwards. I do not use it for myself, but do you have some? No, you also don't use it. The idea behind is that you can easily change the template in the forms even afterwards, because it just writes an XML file that describes the forms and the templates and allows you to change this XML file and write back to the wiki. Yeah, for some reasons I don't use it, and so I can not tell how good it is working, but it's from Jaren, so I guess it works.
Maybe you can show an attribute page and
Yeah.
change the attribute type.
Mm-hmm. I can. So you've seen now that the template was just in text form. Oops. Oh, okay. Name already existed. So I will be a little bit careful with that one and take the given name. Okay, there's one. Sounds good. Now you can see this is the attribute for the given name. It's of the type text. And then you see also which pages contain this attribute. But you can easily now change this to, let's say, page. And if you're going back now to, oops, my name seems quite common here in Austria. Then you see that it has changed also here. That this is now a page, and you can click on it, and then you're asked to provide the page contents. And before, this is the old one, it stayed as a text, and you can't edit it like this. So this can be done quite easily, and this also means that if you encounter the problem that you see, well, probably I should change something that I initially thought should be text into a page, or vice versa, it's no problem within Semantic MediaWiki. You can just change the property type, and as long as there is no limitation, for example, if you have a conversion into numbers or something like this, then this will usually work and produce the expected outcome. This is probably managed to fill the time at least for the lunch, and we'll go on with this example probably in the afternoon, as long as Ralph does not have other plans. Okay, thanks very much.